Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you, how often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. Behold, now your house is left to you desolate. Here we are in the 21st century, and Jerusalem is still under contention. Jerusalem is still in the news of the world. In the last days of the last administration, the president ordered to do something that sent shockwaves around the world because it was America doing it. It came on the verge of the Hebrew celebration of Hanukkah. And ultimately, it abandoned Israel. America abandoned Israel at the United Nations. Then followed up where the Secretary of State gave a long speech, mentioned terrorism as a problem about 15 times, mentioned Israelis building houses as the problem over 60 times. Even the Prime Minister of England condemned the speech by the American Secretary of State as being totally biased against Israel. Why is it significant? I promised I'd speak about it. Why? Amazing thing, you think of all the dictatorships, terror states, states that kill thousands of its own civilians, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions even, Soviet Union, Communist China, North Korea. How many of these have been condemned in the United Nations? Very few. But one nation is not only condemned, but is condemned more than any other nation on earth. In fact, I believe that when you take all these together, Israel has been condemned more than all nations put together. The tiny nation of Israel, the only true democracy in the Middle East, the only nation that guarantees access to religious sites of every religion, the nation that actually takes the terrorists who seek to destroy it and who harm themselves trying to kill Jews, blowing themselves up, brings them to hospitals to save their life. The nation which has Arabs in its parliament and whose Arab citizens would overwhelmingly choose to live in the nation of Israel than any other Arab or Muslim country in the Middle East. Condemned. Just before the vote to condemn Israel, recently, the United Nations Secretary General, in his last speech of his term, admitted, finally, he said the UN is prejudiced against Israel. He said this is his exact quote. Decades of political maneuverings have created a disproportionate volume of resolutions, reports, and conferences criticizing Israel. First time the Secretary General, he admitted, and he only admitted it as he was going out of office. The U.S. ambassador to the UN recently noted, one need only to look at the 18 resolutions against Israel adopted during the UN General Assembly in September. 18 resolutions. Or the 12 Israel-specific resolutions adopted this year in the Human Rights Council, and more than those focused on Syria, North Korea, Iran, South Sudan put together. In other words, nations that are killing. More than that, they condemn little Israel. To see that in 2016, the quote continues, Israel continues to be treated differently from other member states. And then just as the Secretary General made this statement admitting it, the UN condemned Israel again.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.